Welcome to From Heroes to Icons. I am Jason, the Purest. This is our Purest review on Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time. And this is my daughter, Janae.
Hello.
I decided to have both of us here. Why? Because she hasn't read The Wheel of Time ever yet. But I'm taking the reader's side of critical review, I guess I'll call it, of The Wheel of Time, and she's taking the non-reader view. And in this episode of the Purist review, we're going to discuss all 3 episodes of The Wheel of Time that came out this week. Sorry for the late review, but life happens. And I guess I'll actually just start. We're going to go from 1, 2, and 3, and expect me to intervene into such things because I read the book, and so the stuff that didn't line up, I'm coming for it. All right, so episode 1, what was the name of episode 1 anyway? Leave Taking?
I believe so, yes.
Leave Taking.
I believe so, don't quote me.
We start off with Moraine
narrating.
Yeah, she was talking about the dragon being reborn and such, and how men cut a fool, and using the power and all that, and how she said they don't know if the dragon was reborn as a man or a woman.
Which is just supposed to be a man.
And, because we know, those who have read it, I'm going to segue again already. I know I'm cutting to the quick before we even started. But the prophecies of the dragon state he. So regardless of the turnings of the Wheel of Time, it can turn 800,000 million times. He. Okay? That's so, I'm just getting that straight. We know that the Aes Sedai, they running things. But he. Okay? So let's talk. We can talk about. See, she laughed. Know how I feel. So
I call it because it's more critiquing than like ripping it to shreds. It's critiquing.
Okay, so
and it's from a different point of view.
So episode 1, Leave Taking. What did you want to talk about the characters first?
We could go to the characters. The first one, other than Moraine and Lan. Okay.
Lan Almadragoran.
It's like a quick 1, 2, 3 with them with the introduction, and then we see in the prologue. I'm gonna call it the prologue. We see them watching one of the red Aes Sedais.
Lilandrin. Those that know. Peekaboo.
Chasing after 2 men who one of them claimed to be the Dragon Reborn. And as she says, no man is supposed to have the power. Weirdo behavior.
She'll learn soon.
Weirdo behavior. And in their eyes, they're like, okay, like, she's bugging. So Moraine is like, well, there's another village that we can go to that's around the age where the Dragon Reborn should be right now. There's about 5 of them. But they don't know who.
Okay, so she doesn't know yet, but what they did to the young man fleeing for his life, even though the madness had him, so they know it wasn't the dragon because he was nuts already because he was talking to himself. What they did to him, they call it gentling. Is when they sever him from the one power so he can never even feel it anymore. So they kind of like sterilize him from using power. And
okay.
And now we have 5 individuals that are supposedly candidates for the Dragon Reborn. And one thing I did not like, they was going so fast. What you think of the pacing?
I did not like the pacing because they really didn't give us a chance to meet every character and get some details. Because I had an issue with like finding out who was who and whose name was who. I'm like, wait, but who is this person?
The pacing.
It was a little too fast. Yeah, it was a little too fast for me.
So they decided to go to Emansfield, and they're gonna track down these kids or whatever. And she mentions Taverin right off the, oh man, she like, she jumped the shark or whatever y'all want to call it. And I was just like, why did she say that without an explanation? We could have waited until Loyal popped up or whatever. But she jumped the shark with Tavarin. And but one thing was cool. The old blood runs deep in the Two Rivers. So we cut to, where is it?
The Women's Coven, I believe, was first.
The Women's Circle. Egwene's being inducted into the Women's Circle. They braid her hair. And off she goes into the water. Which
very took me off guard. I was like, why did you drink?
So, okay. I was waiting for this because I have the reader's view. And what did Nynaeve say now before she pushed her in?
She said, trust the water.
Okay.
Listen to the water. Let the water
Okay, so her going into the water and like she's fighting the tide and all of that, and then she kind of like begins to just flow with the flow of the water. I think that's the what they call the wine spring water,
I will
or the
say
White
this.
River.
It gave me waterbender type vibe.
Okay, so you
a little
gotta.
bit.
Okay,
it gave me waterbender type vibes.
That's a little bit for those that have read it. Know when initiates begin to go to the White Tower and they open themselves to the true source and try to use Sidar, they have to first surrender to the flow of Sidar before they can use it. So that's kind of
that's actually pretty cool.
Like a parallel to her getting pushed in the water.
That's pretty cool.
The current is so powerful, and then once she surrenders to it,
it just guides her.
Right.
It guided her to shore, which was really. I thought it was really cool. Like aesthetically, her with the water and the way her gown kind of just went with the water and flowed with it was really nice.
So now we have the first of the men characters introduced on the road to Emansfield. We get to see Rand al'Thor and his father Tam al'Thor, and having a conversation that was not in the book. And it was all right. He was talking about his mother or whatever. Oh, your mother could drink. And I'm just like, here we go. Why is that important? You know what I mean? But after the trauma from that the readers are going to feel.
We'll get to that.
After seeing this
we'll get to the trauma. There's plenty of that getting thrown around too.
One of the only cool thing about that scene is that we find out that Rand al'Thor is quick on the draw with the bow and arrow.
That's very. I just like that. I
draw right there.
It was a very nice bow and arrow too. And, very nice.
I must say this before we continue, and I probably won't say it again. And let's get it out the way. The environments, the scenery, is magnificent.
Whoever does the cinematography, A1.
The locations and the mountains and the forest, it's
all
it's that I can't complain about. It's perfect. So they're on their way to Emansfield, and they get to Emansfield, right? They get to Emansfield before they show Egwene again. Right?
Yeah, because they're in the tavern.
They get there and they're unloading their stuff and meeting the people, and they are I have to say, I didn't imagine the people from the book to the film, the people of Emansfield being such partiers like that. They were drinking and cavorting and carrying on. They just got up. And I was surprised at the righteous behavior of the Emansfield townfolk. And with that, we meet the characters right off the bat. They go into the tavern. We meet Matt, Perrin, and did they say what the black chick's name was he was gambling with?
No, they never mentioned her name.
Side,
she was just there.
Insert extra character.
Side character.
For storyline
purposes.
Right
Yeah, we probably never gonna see her again.
And they got some shenanigans going on. Matt loses all his money, so he has no luck right now. And they make some really silly comments or whatever. We find out Perrin is married, and Matt goes to the chick that just took all his money, and he's going to woo her because he has spotted the bracelet on her arm that he wants to take.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. And what happens after that?
That was so distasteful.
What happened? Anything important? Everyone comes in after that, right?
Yeah, and they're all congratulating her, and they're like, "Oh my God, yes!"
and she just gives Althor the side eye.
Yeah, they were during the entire scene. They were just eyeing each other. You could tell there's something going on already.
Why
and
didn't you come and talk to me after you?
It was too much. Like, just them with the side eye was enough. Them, like, him constantly looking at her and, oh, I'm gonna talk to her. Oh, I haven't gotten the chance. Oh, I'm just waiting to be alone. I'm just like, can you?
And
it was just too much.
We meet Nynaeve too.
Yes.
It was perfect cast.
I love her.
Matt and Nynaeve, perfect casting. And even though I don't like what they're doing with Matt right now, but there's a couple of characters in the book that aren't introduced in this episode 1 that are integral. One gets introduced in episode 3, I think, in the 3rd episode, and a few of the others I think are just excluded, not unless I have my ears turned off. Sin Buey, the old man that cuts a fool in the book, he isn't introduced, and Elsbeth and Harold Luhan are negated from the entire story, as Perrin is given a wife who is working in the smithy with him, so her character kind of negates the Luhans, which kind of sucks. But night comes and partying and all of that, and Lan comes in and introduces Moraine, and right there I'm gonna say something real quick. I'm gonna cut you off.
No, it's okay.
That the Aes Sedai wear pants suits instead of like dresses. I guess that's supposed to be some modern feminine empowerment thing. Don't come from my head. I don't know why they did that.
Which it's not needed. You can still make them look powerful in dresses. It doesn't have to. I didn't understand, especially when he told me that, but especially when there's already. If you don't mind,
I got a name. I'm not just a he.
Do you mind me?
Yo,
do you mind me bringing?
Me too.
Do you mind me bringing them up? The
who?
warriors that already are just like wearing the pants, like they're already like in pants, like they're just separated from the.
No. We're gonna talk about them because they need to show.
Okay,
yeah, that's all right. She's talking about that. You're gonna save that.
Okay,
save that.
But it could have been done. I don't see, like, it could have been, especially aesthetically, it could have went with her suit, cloak, jacket. It would have been looking very nice with it.
But she still is the best dressed.
Oh yeah, but the pants, it was, especially if you're trying to go with the times. That in that
everybody wasn't dressed.
In that age, there weren't any women wearing pants.
It's the age of dresses.
So
the third.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, because if you're going with the time period, then go with the time period. There's no need to switch up.
Right, so they get introduced or whatever. So Moraine goes to the fire pit or whatever and to warm herself. And then automatically, for anybody that didn't know what was going on, she eyes the 5 characters that she thinks may be the Dragon Reborn.
But she does keep her eye especially on
Egwene, right? So, and it's really cool because Rand and Perrin have a little talk or whatever, and automatically, for those readers who know about Althor, he's just like, nah, man, go watch the monster die, man. You don't know what she might be able to hear, even going up the stairs. So here, we're going to power through this episode real quick. We have 15 minutes already? Yeah. We're going to power through this episode. Matt Cawthon's family, Abel Cawthon and his mother, I hate that relationship that they have. Just to let you know, please, they do have the book on Kindle. Read it for yourself. Abel Cawthon is a good dude, and so is his family. Matt Cawthon's sisters are older. All of that buffoonishness with him, with the ladies and drunken, he's gonna run right through that. What happened next? Now, bell time, right?
Yeah.
No, it was the daytime. It was the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, after.
Well, other stuff happened, but it was more the scenes with Marilyn and Lon, and the other scene with Moraine and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted to mention that.
I thought we was going to power through this episode real quick, but no.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to mention it because it was
the scene where Moraine and Lan are in the tub together. Finito. No, I know. Don't come to me with the Shinarans and they get in the tub and all that, and they was with each other for 20 years. Very, very too familiar. Too familiar. Lan is just way too stoic.
It was
To
unnecessary.
even be doing that just to show, oh, look how close they are. Okay, and then we got Rand and Egwene. They finally are left alone to their own devices. You know what I'm saying? Unlike in the book, there's no hanky-panky in the book. But, Rand Althor seemed to be, he was going to lay it down.
They got to do it for
But then,
the
for the drama, for the ages.
The romance. The romance.
Okay. So breakup sex is romantic. So
you don't know that
I'm
yet. She didn't say that to him.
This is a spoiler review. We giving it up. So, they got the breakup sex. And I find out that, I'm going to be a wisdom. I haven't decided if I'm going to be a wisdom.
Tells him afterwards.
But, that was a breakup sex. So, Randolph floor bounces. And then we get the Myrtle walking into Edmondsfield. Our first look at the Myrtle. Who, say it so we can go on.
He looked like Voldemort.
Say it loud.
Voldemort with no eyes. I'm sorry.
Voldemort walks into Edmondsfield.
I can't not see it. I'm sorry.
She hasn't read the books, y'all. So Voldemort walks into Edmondsfield. The next day, which in the book, Rand and Tam go back home. So they get breakfast and all that. Rand and Egwene talk, whatever. He's like, I know you're going to be wisdom or whatever. And they kind of pretty much break up. Right then, Rand and, Perrin give Matt a little money for the money that he lost or whatever. Pat Vane comes into the town. And I'm going to say it. Why the funny looking black dude got to be the dark friend, man? I'm just saying. You see his teeth? When he been on the bracelet, Matt gave him?
Look so yellow. He looks so yellow.
But that's all right. That dude's a good actor. But, Matt is a thief, acting real crackish. He's not like that in the book. Rand and Tam bounce. We have a little scene. Does Moraine go to talk to Nynaeve then? Moraine goes to talk to Nynaeve, finds out that she's too old to be the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, they have a
leaves her to her devices.
They kind of have a little tension going on
already, which is true.
But I can understand.
Nynaeve don't like Moraine.
I can understand though, especially her getting shunned, like the way she got shunned. That was jacked up. I'd be upset too. I'd be like, don't try to key with me after y'all isolated me.
But she's wisdom now, so Nynaeve definitely one of the better actors in this show. Then we get a scene with Nynaeve and Egwene listening to the wind, and what they hear is the coming of the Trolloc horde.
There's trouble,
but they don't know.
Here.
And Lan, a really cool scene. Lan finds like the ripped up sheep.
Yes.
In the forest.
That was kind of gross.
And the sign that the sheep make.
Yeah, look, I couldn't
It's
tell.
called the Dragon's Fang.
It looked like a question mark a little bit.
It's the. We'll go into more of the lore and all that, but the sign is just like upside down teardrop, which they call the Dragon's Fang. So all
it
like
looks pretty gross. Having all
people
that
like the Dark Friends and stuff like that. They're like scrolling on the wall and like Dark Friend. Some people getting shunned and all that.
It looked pretty gross though. Like it looked cool how they did it, but it looked gross. Like all the guts.
Ren and Tam go back home, and Beltane starts the festivities. And they put their little lanterns out in the water, and the party starts and stuff.
Which was very nice. I did like that. That was nice. They're putting the lanterns out.
They start their little party, and the party is interrupted by Bedlam.
Oh my goodness!
The magnificent onslaught of
Oh my goodness!
Trollocs just
came in
wrapping people up. And I have to say, the Trollocs look great. They are quite frightening looking. And it's definitely pretty dope.
It's pretty interesting though.
But from the book to the show, none of that happens. It happens, but it happens off page. In the book, it follows Rand and Tam in their fight with the Trollocs and Rand's venture from the farmhouse back to Edmondsfield, which is, to me, is much more dramatic because you get
one POV,
a more personal view of what happened. But for television, we gotta show the wind and the fireballs and the monsters getting killed and land chopping Trollocs' heads off and she throwing fireballs and summoning lightning and all of that. And in the book, she didn't get hurt when the Trolloc threw the
knife in her.
She didn't get hurt, so that didn't happen. But she fails the rest of the Trolloc horde. And
Nynaeve gets snatched up.
Oh.
Which
yo, I'm trying to save somebody, and then Trolloc snatched her ball, man. That was crazy. So she's presumed dead. She's presumed dead.
Forgot his name. His wife. He accidentally.
Oh yes.
Which
and, in the bedlam, Perrin and his wife beating the bricks off these Trollocs.
Yeah, they were. They are a good team. I will say that they were.
He the axe and goes. I can say it because it's spoilerific. He goes totally wolf berserker on the Trolloc, and in his rage, someone runs up behind him and he slices her stomach open. And I mean, she died super quick.
It was done. It was like as soon as he did it, infinite. She was dead.
And I was just like, insert character we don't need, gone with character that we don't need.
And it was
but
so
unnecessary. The guilt trip.
The trauma. They needed that extra.
Mm-hmm. So now the emo parent that we know, now this is his walk into being emo parent.
I still like his character though.
How did this episode end? How did episode 1 end? Did Rand get to the Emansville?
No, his dad got stabbed, and then he took him, and then it stopped a little bit around there, I believe.
They didn't get to Emansville on the first episode?
No. They didn't even ride out yet. They ride out in the second episode.
No, they wrote out in the first episode because she was talking about the Wheel of Time, the spits and spins. And then she did the thing from the wheel. Well, however it ended, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna slide right into it. Rand and Tam come in. Moraine is still busted up, but she heals Tam. Because Nynaeve got snatched ball by the Trollocs. And then Nynaeve, Moraine's like, y'all gotta go. The Trollocs came for y'all. Y'all gotta bounce. So
they all go, no hesitation.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of them, but the rest of them, no hesitation. Just go with her.
But I must say this: the only person that flips out is Rand.
Of course.
Everybody.
Matt did make a few comments.
Well,
but he still
smart aleck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's like, well, you gotta go. Shit, I'm broke anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing.
And Peng, he has nothing. His wife going now, so he ain't got nothing. He has nothing.
They get ready to go. Rand al'Thor shows that he is Rand al'Thor. Why should we even trust you? He brings it up, but they leave, and as they ride off into the sunset, Moraine starts how she I guess it's a soliloquy or whatever on how the first chapter of every Robert Jordan book starts. The Wheel of Time turns and ages come and pass, leaving legend and then they become myth. And that was, I was very excited about that. I was very happy about that. And even though there were so many things that I didn't like. Yes, when they quote the book, the super hypeness comes in, and you want to give the Goku scream.
The inner fan.
You know what I mean? And that was it. Episode 2 starts with them on the road,
yes.
Right? No.
The
White Cloaks. The episode. Episode 2
goodness.
starts with the White Cloaks.
The kind of introduction, but not introduction.
Right. You're gonna pause right there. No. It's a shame. It's a shame. Yo, what happened? What happened? Must have turned it off or something. Yeah, she turned it off, y'all.
Bye.
But anyway, we gonna start episode 2, which I don't know the title of, and it doesn't matter because the Wheel of Time turns. We get our first look at the White Cloaks. And I'm gonna say it again. Why the black dude gotta be the devil? It's crazy, yo. They gotta get the darkest black dude in the world in the whitest outfit, eating baby
That was so
Eating
gross.
baby
That
birds.
was so gross.
Know what I mean?
That was
Crazy.
so gross.
I will. And he's literally burning a yellow Ashida.
I will say this. Because I noticed it. I like how like they parallel with certain like medieval things, like how he was like burning her, like you burn witches at the stake. I thought that was kind of interesting.
They call them Tarvalon witches.
So I thought it was kind of cool. Like not cool, but interesting how they parallel like him burning her, like you burn a witch at the stake.
But it's crazy though, because it's like, how did he catch her ass to die like that? When she just
he chopped her hands. Well,
she chopped her hands off. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, how they didn't show her dead water or nothing.
Well, you see how many rings he had. He had about 7 rings on him. So
he's
the general. He's the I don't know remember his name, but I know he said like he's not the general, but he's the.
He's a questioner.
The questioner.
Oh, okay. We gonna get his name right. This is I don't know. There's a lot of.
They really didn't like introduce like they kind of just pulled him up and was like, General so and so wants to thank you for your da 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 da, and they could just like runs off, and then we're just like, wait.
I think it was Pedro Nile or something.
Okay.
But I don't know who this questioner was. He's like the main questioner right now. So
we see her get burned,
and then he goes, and it was cool though. It was dope. Because when he was drinking his wine or whatever,
you see her
the
like
reflection.
You
see the reflection of her burn. The effects and stuff in here, the cinematography is fire.
No, it's very nice.
The intro.
Oh, I love
the wheel weaves. I
watched the intro.
And we have to see the weaving.
I watched the intro like twice because of how aesthetically nice it was. And the fact that they showed every Aes Sedai of each color was so cool.
She's seen it like that. When I first started watching it, me personally, I thought the weaves were, instead of just making like the different Aes Sedai, I thought they were the Forsaken. I thought the one in white was definitely Lanfear. The black one, the black chick she had on green, I thought that was a Masana. And the one with the blonde hair, I thought was Grendel. And then when they showed all 7, I said, "Oh, I guess it's just some random Aes Sedai." It was still fire.
It looked really cool. It looked so cool. Wish I could have it for a wallpaper. It looked so very. Make posters.
Y'all hear that? Amazon?
Make posters or put it on t-shirts.
So t-shirts, Wheel of Time. Heat. But anyway, it opens up with them
riding
on the road. Obviously, Lan is tracking ahead and behind, and Randolph is just not the most agreeable traveling partner right now. You know what I mean? But we get a nice little fan service here of Matt Coffin starting a song about Aemon, and everybody joins in and sings reluctantly, Aaron and.
It was very nice though. It was really nice. It gave the very they always always in those times the just out of nowhere with the
from the Witcher.
Yeah, that's what vibe it gave. It gave some Witcher vibes.
So with that, Moraine gives a little history of Eamon's Field and Manetheren. I say Manetheren, they say Manetheren. But if you're gonna say that as a battle cry, Manetheren sounds so much better than Manetheren. You say Manetheren has a little
bass, a little more bass.
You know what I'm saying? So she gives the little intro, little history for that.
Which was very much appreciated.
It was, but in the book, it happened, that monologue happens in Edmondsville, and she tells all the villagers that. And that was pretty dope. So,
it does show how powerful the village actually is. Like, they kept fighting. And
because then, we're going to go back to episode 1 real quick. Them old ladies beat the bricks for them
I will say this, I love that.
That drunk lady that was wilding out?
Yeah!
Come and get it!
I love
I'm going
to say this.
Yo.
I always love...
She had too much to drink.
No, but true. But I always love a woman who knows how to really like, I love how they emphasized on it. Like, they don't play no games. They said, not in a feminist way. She
said that in all the Aes Sedai chicks. She ain't seen nothing yet, y'all.
I know, but
y'all
listen, the villagers,
but
they're
first episode.
But the Aes Sedai is always supposed to be ill. They're villagers. The fact that the villagers
they ain't that
was
ill,
able,
man. You see
but they was able to at least hold their own. But they didn't go out like
no. I'm talking about the Aes Sedai. They ain't that ill, man. You see what happened to that yellow, man?
Well,
the white cloaks ain't nothing to play with, man.
But I did like how the villagers was able to hold their own though.
Right, and now they make camp or whatever, right? They get ready to make camp.
Yes.
This episode kind of jumps a little bit because then they make camp or whatever. There's a lot of tension between Rand and Egwene at this time, and they make camp, and she takes Egwene aside first, right? That's
yes.
She takes Egwene aside, and we find out that listening to the wind is actually the beginnings of channeling. All the women that are able to listen to the wind have the potential to become sisters in the Aes Sedai.
And I thought that necklace was very pretty.
Well, Moraine is actually royalty. She's not a commoner like most. She actually she's carrying. She's like she got some upper crust family.
Well, she does kind of mention a little bit of it when they get stopped by the white cloaks.
Right. Oh, I'm from Canada.
Yeah. So she was.
They get stopped. Okay.
No. They made camp and then they got stopped
the next morning.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go from
there. We gotta go to the nightmare.
Okay.
After she I want to be how do you spell it? Moraine.
Yes.
Moraine and Egwene. She goes. Egwene after she shows her that Egwene goes to. Her man's.
Lay down next to me.
He wakes up and he's like,
listen, now I came ahead and get by myself.
And she walks away. She walks away. Oh, that was kind of that, but I can understand why.
What do you say in Afro Samurai? A little bit of the cold shoulder, huh?
But I can understand why, especially.
But you know what? It's funny though. And if she knew she had them nightmares, she'd be like, "That's what you get."
They all had them.
I'm being smart though. You know how girls can be.
I know.
That's what you get. You diss me. Now stuff is chasing you. But we get the first nightmare.
Ooh, gee. Ooh.
You guys know from the book. We get the man chasing them with the eyes of flame. But it was really kind of crazy because he was like throwing up bats and all that. It was really kind of cool. And he woke up in the morning, it's like
it was
dead
so
bats
nasty.
Everywhere.
And then Matt's dream was a guy with the ember eyes was just taking it and just snapping it in the thin air. Then I was like, ugh.
So they found that everybody has had the same dream or whatever. And she's like, next time you have a dream, tell me. And like Rand, pretty much grieving his breakup with.
Bugs out and was like
flips out.
Yeah, they both go into it. He's like, I want to go home. How can we trust her? She's like, well, what more? I'm like, oh my goodness, can we please?
And my boy Matt. Well, she does throw fireballs.
like it's either her or we keep getting chased by these trollocs.
They go on and they're stopped by the White Cloaks, which I have to say,
they look very dope.
Are the best dressed people
they look so
in the
dope.
Wheel of Time so far.
Dope.
I said, yo, I don't agree with the White Cloak tactics, man, but if I can get one of them outfits with the and I would definitely take being of the higher echelon so I can get, with a cross guard gauntlet thing going down the side. The White Cloaks is ill. But again, I know he's a questioner and all of that, and they got to do that, man.
It was so unnecessary.
All that touchy, that was weird.
I love Lon. Lon was like, "There's no reason for." He's like, "I'm a man that don't do all that." I said,
"Like, you know what I'm saying? Why you gotta be the black dude that do?"
And then after he checks her, they go and he's like, "Go check the horses," and then they go through the horses and everything. They ask them what they're doing here, why they're in this territory.
And Moraine spins a nice story or whatever. And they let them go, and everybody goes in different directions or whatever. And it's cool because she sent them the Taryn Ferry. We didn't talk about that when The dude that helped them across the ferry, and they sunk it, and they sunk the ferry.
Oh.
In the book.
Well, that was after. That was after.
It was?
That. Yeah, it was.
No,
it was before. It was before. Yeah.
Because she said the white folks to Tarrant Ferry.
It was before that. Yeah, because they was arguing about that too.
You killed him.
Yeah.
Oh. But in the book, the ferryman doesn't die. He just runs off into the woods or whatever.
That was his elder.
You know, that was dramatic effect. If you gonna hold on to the thing in the whirlpool, man.
How that gonna save your son though? How that gonna save your son?
Listen, I don't mean no disrespect. You see the devil on the other side of the river. How?
He already gone. Your son already gone. If your son didn't get,
I love y'all, but run. Run.
Well, he said he was already on the way back, so he probably already got towed up on the way back, or he probably already did. That was unnecessary.
As the book says, he most likely ended up in a troll cook pot. But it was crazy. The Trollocs just eat each other when they go down. But anyway, you know, they depart from the White Cloaks or whatever. Her and Moraine and Egwin have a little conversation, and Moraine lets her know like how to kind of like talk around the truth. You can tell somebody something, and it's not really a lie. She's still held by the 3 oaths, but it's not the truth that you think you get. So sometimes, you know, Asadai tell you something, they'll be giving you the okie doke.
Mm-hmm.
So does Moraine like halfway fall out the saddle or something, and then that's why? No,
they were traveling.
The Trollocs.
Yeah.
Again, here they come, and it's kind of dope how some of the Trollocs run on all 4s.
No, yeah, that was actually, I guess, to show how some kind of animalistic they still are too.
Listen. I'm gonna say this, man. Somebody need to get some pants for some of these Trollocs, man. Come on. Oh my God. I was like, there's a lot of bad butt Trollocs. They describe the Trollocs in the book as having armor on. Not all of them have armor.
Yeah, but
they have armor and all of this stuff on.
I guess it's because they got like the legs like the goat. I think it's because they got the goat legs. Yeah, well, I think it's because they out. Well, I think they
feel sorry for the chicks that the Trollocs snatch. Hint. Naive.
Oh, we also see that. No,
man, you're going too fast again. We gotta get Moraine falls out.
And they notice how pale she is.
The Trollocs is coming. You know what I'm saying? She got the shakes.
And they trying to figure out where to go.
Who said this? That she? Oh, I think Bob said she was looking like Frodo. When Frodo got hit by the Nazgul blade, he was looking like Frodo. But she wasn't all sick like that in the book. So Lan takes it upon himself that they ride forth to Shadar Logoth.
After she told him
where the shadow sleeps.
After she told him no.
And they noticed that the Trollocs won't go in there. So they go in there. They make camp or whatever. The Trollocs won't come in there. And, everybody's sitting around chilling or whatever. And they go to sleep.
Well, Pen and Egwene go up on that tower, and we see a very beautiful.
Oh yes, we get to look at the
scenery. I have to bring up the scenery. It was so nice. They had a lot of this in the
Rand and Egwene have a nice little moment.
After arguing not 10 minutes ago.
Put your head on my shoulder moment as they look out at the now desolate wilds.
After arguing not 10 minutes.
Logan.
After arguing not 10 minutes ago.
It's a recent breakup. It's only been a day. A day and pillaging and killing going on. So they go to sleep, and lo and behold, the no-luck gambler cannot sleep, and Matt leaps up.
That irritated me. I'm sorry. That scene irritated me.
He sees a shadow. He follows the shadow, and
that scene irritated. As soon as you see that, you knew something was gonna.
Finds the dagger of Shadar Logoth.
And it makes you think, oh wow, a random dagger in all of these ruins. Let me just pick it up.
So this is just. But he loved money, and it was gold. So
it was silver. It was silver. It was silver with a ruby in it. I'm just saying.
Now we know that I've read the book that it's supposed to be gold, and the ruby should be a little bit bigger.
It was like a silver dagger, but like the
that was just bad light. It's supposed to be gold.
Oh, it looks silver.
Okay.
Yeah, to me it looks silver.
everything
I guess
everything that glitter ain't gold.
either that or it's probably the way I was watching.
But yeah, because my eyes was dim. I had to put my glasses on to see that. But he gets the dagger, and
all chaos breaks.
Mashadar
All chaos breaks.
starts cutting up.
We see it with the horse, which
Yeah.
that horse didn't deserve that. That horse did not deserve
Yo,
that. They disintegrated.
the
Literally
shadow wakes
disintegrated the horse. That horse did not
up.
deserve
Like
that.
right after he picks the dagger up, the shadow's like,
And the horse, like you hear the horse. I was like, but we
the
really
horse
gotta
is
see
kicking
it.
and carrying
I was
on.
like, we don't really gotta see the
And,
horse in pain.
you know, so
They end up splitting
the
up.
group now gets split up. Perrin and Gwen have to literally jump off the edge of life.
Moraine wakes up mid, like, I guess and she's like,
what did you do?
she's like, you've doomed us, you've killed us all. And
said,
so they run.
Listen, you was doomed anyway without no chicken noodle soup.
He take her and they run. They run to safety, like, out of the...
And Matt and...
They found like a hole in the wall and they jumped.
Which is totally, all of this is not in the book. I mean, they're separating to get out, and that's whatever. So everybody's separated, going in a different direction and such. But I'm gonna say this real quick before we move on to the next scene.
Yes.
Mashadar.
What's the next episode?
The shadow that no, I'm giving an explanation.
Oh, okay.
Even though you've seen the black shadow eating them and chasing them and all of that, in the book it was depicted as fog.
Really?
Not just a shadow on the ground. And when the fog came, it split off like octopus tendrils to go out, and when it would like suck the soul from your body and all that. So that's actually the true Mashadar instead of the what is that, the thing that you shake that we used to make the lines with?
Oh, the Etch-a-Sketch.
It wasn't the Etch-a-Sketch magnets that was eating everything. It was actually like fog. I know everybody's gonna laugh.
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was kind of.
The dopest part was when that horse got ate.
I will say though, it was kind of cool. It's like the darkness.
Right, but it was fog though, man. It would have been dope to see the tendrils go out, and then when everybody runs in different directions, then the tendrils be like, wee, like like the octopus. Yeah. Like that. But so they get out of there, and Matt and Rand make a little. They get a little piece of log, like fake boat. And they drift off on that. Egwene and Perrin.
They swim to shore.
On the other side. And now, I have to say, they end these episodes dope. I have to say, the ending of these episodes is fire.
We get Moraine.
And Lan. And he's like, oh, she's sick. And she's out of it.
And we get my girl.
So she comes up behind him with the knife. Ha!
Where are my friends? Take me to them. I was like, yes!
Nynaeve is not dead. And I have to say, that green Sherlin.
It's a Sherlin. I love it.
It's a Sherlin.
I love it.
It's dope living in Edmondsfield, and you got all of these shepherds that, shearing the sheep and stuff. I take a Sherlin. Rand got a Sherlin.
I love that.
Egwene got a Sherlin.
I love that.
And Nynaeve got a green Sherlin. It's dope. And that was the end of episode 2. And episode 3 opens up. Nynaeve cutting and spinning with Lan. And
which
he's had enough.
Which I will say.
So he just gives her.
Up.
So he's like, you ain't gonna stab me, man.
Up. I will say, I know it was like only like 5 minutes. But I love the tension between the two.
She ain't even read the book,
It gives enemies to lovers trope vibes, and I love it. I'm sorry, I love it.
She watched too much television. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I didn't tell her, y'all. But anyway,
it just gave off the vibe. I'm sorry.
Listen.
I love those tropes. The enemies to lovers. You can feel the vibe.
So he knocks her out. Because she cutting this spin, she gonna pull the knife out on him.
Wait. We didn't talk about her flashback. We flashback.
He knocks her out. Didn't go to a flashback, right?
Yes.
After he knocks her out, then we get the flashback.
And then we got to where she was before.
And the Trolloc
was dragging her.
So why the Trolloc's dragging her?
He drops her.
Wakes up from unconsciousness. And there's another Trolloc with him, but the Trolloc is busted up. So he drops her, and the Trolloc just goes in on the other.
I told thought that was like
Nah, that's easy food. Once they wound
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought he was like trying to help his friend or something. He
a
went and
Trolloc will
attacked.
eat another Trolloc if it's wounded.
It was
this
so,
is easy
it
meat.
was that took me way off guard. I said
So the Trolloc that has Nynaeve starts eating the other Trolloc.
and she sees
And
that
make
as
no mistake. I'm gonna say this, and we know this for true. All of my people, Nynaeve may not have been black in the book, but when that Trolloc latches on
she was
to the other one,
she was out.
She does.
She
what
was
black characters
out.
do.
She was out.
She got.
She was out. She was out.
Yo,
and she did the thing though. She did the thing
so
though.
She gets back to the sacred pool of whatever.
And she hides.
Yo.
I will say this: how did he not see her when her head was like right there?
If you look, the rock, she was below the rock.
Oh, okay. Because the way
from his point of view, you would just see the pool and like the little ledge of rock.
Oh, okay, because it was like the way it
because I see that, I was just like, yo, man.
Yeah, like
he's gonna snatch her.
That's what I was like. It looked like he could see. I was like, girl. Can he see you?
And I guess he had halfway lost the scent because of the water or whatever.
So that's and then
but she goes underneath and he goes in the pool.
He starts poking. Well, he pokes at it first.
She did the jailhouse rock.
Well, he poked at it first. Then
he got it. He should have never gotten to that water, man.
But that was ill. She did it.
She came out and was like took his knife and gave him the ha. So that's how we knew she got away or whatever. And of course, you know all of the wheelies from Wheel of Time love that braid snatch. Ha! When she threw it over. So now we know from the trailers why she did the braid snatch. Ha! Because she's putting it down.
She is so cool. I love her character.
So,
she is so cool.
We get a lot happens in this episode. I want to talk about Rand and Matt.
Okay.
So we're not doing it in sequence. Who you want to talk about? You want to talk about the rest of the stuff?
We can do Rand and Matt first, and then because their thing was a little bit longer than everybody else's,
right?
So we can talk about them first.
Rand and Matt end up in this unnamed town. Which why do they keep doing this? Like just have the name come up at the bottom.
Yeah,
of the spot
that's what they usually do when like you go. They do that in Castlevania. They would like put like the name of the thing at the bottom.
The difference between Netflix and Amazon. But anyway, Matt and Rand end up in this unnamed town, and we know the readers the reason why Matt is getting in a nastier attitude. It's the dagger. It's the dagger. But anyway,
yeah, he seemed like way pressed than like he already was. Like I understand he was cold, they got separated, but he was like way more pressed.
It's the evil of Shadar Logan.
Okay.
But I guess they'll get into that later. So they get into this unnamed town or whatever. They're trying to, they got a teeny bit of money. They're trying to make things work out with this little thick waitress chick. I guess she runs the tavern or whatever. And then we get my character, my dude, finally comes out, who was actually supposed to be in like chapter 4 or whatever.
But it was really cool how they introduced him, and he had the whole
and
thing.
then Tom Merlin.
No, that was I love that. No, I love that. That was pretty cool. No, I love that. The way they introduced him was that is how you introduce characters.
That's because he's so important. And I guess they wanted to say in the book he's actually. I'm saying, like, you'd be surprised how important Tom Merlin is. Like, the Gleeman, but he's super important.
Okay.
So they meet Tom Merlin or whatever. Matt gets robbed.
Of course.
Real quick. Then Tom Merlin robs the dude that robbed him. It was crazy. So, he sings a little song. She's excited about Tom Merlin.
It was really cool, though. I loved it.
They eat or whatever, and Tom Merlin just takes it upon himself to keep Matt's money. So, they go in the back, talk to the waitress chick or whatever to try to get work. And she has them chopping wood for dinner.
Matt don't want to chop wood,
though. Man, a job ain't nothing but work. You know what I mean? So he goes to do whatever he's going to do. Oh, but as they enter the
They gave out
town,
drinks.
they see an Aiel, a dead Aiel in a cage. He has like a little gemstone or something.
Yeah, that's
So, you know how Matt like that guap. Know what I mean? So by any means necessary, he dead. He don't need that. I'm gonna come back for that. So Rand is in the back chopping wood, trying to work for their supper. You know what I mean? And why when he's done working, he begins this little bonding.
I wouldn't really call it bonding. They was getting a little too close for comfort.
We gonna call it bonding for now. You know what I'm saying? He was in the back building with her. She made beds for him and all that. I said he ain't chopped that much wood.
Actually, no, he did. It was like a year ago.
I ain't saying he ain't chopped that much wood for no bed work. Know what I mean? He's a nice pallet. You gonna sleep on the floor. But she made 2 beds for him, son.
Yeah, it was in like the with like the pantry.
And,
the pantry, yeah.
And they just building. She's feeling Althor a little bit too much. And we cut to Matt, who's getting ready to do some thieving work on that dead Aiel to get that jewel.
And our boy comes.
Tom Merlin, my dude, comes out like, "What you doing, son?"
He's like, at least, if you're gonna do that, at least help me with this first.
He's just like, listen, and then what happens? Well, what do you do? What do you help Merlin with?
Like, take it down, like, we'll
Right.
pay respects and then take
Right.
it down and burn it. And I appreciate that. I feel like, I like that he did that.
and
He
it's
was
dope.
like, if you're gonna do that, at least.
Right, because the readers get, before he let Matt take the money or whatever, the readers get a view that Tom Merlin is a bit more well-traveled than what the average gleeman would be. And we know that may you find water and shade and all of that is one of the things that the Aiel say to, like, when they're
Pay
either
respect,
leaving or to the dearly departed.
Like, paying
So
respects.
we get a teeny look into Aiel culture real super quick. Matt takes the money or whatever, gives him the bottoms dominoes, and they bury him or whatever. Tom Merlin goes about his business, and Matt's like, can I get that money back? He's like, yeah, all right. So back to Rand and his beloved, his new beloved. She tried to push.
I can't even call it beloved. I said sign for 2 seconds because
what I'm
it didn't even laugh at how long. They didn't even do nothing.
She tried to push up on Rand, and he like, nah. I ain't even about
And
that life
then
or
she
whatever.
goes.
She go lock the door.
And
on
she's
him.
like, oh, I braided my hair. Does it remind you of her? And I'm like, oh, like
dark friend.
So she locks him out, takes the sword, does the okey doke. She tells him you can't get out. That thing is the door. It can't get nobody out.
Okay.
Okay.
Time out.
Okay.
Okay. So now we get to see something as he's battering the door, and she's just like, 10 men will not be able to break that door down.
And lo and
he
behold,
hits the door, boom, and it shakes, and you see, the foundation is being shook, and Rand Althor smashes the door down. Where did that strength come from? And we go, and he finds Matt, and
they run, and the whole chase begins.
Listen to me, man.
I can come up.
You can come up. That's my wife, y'all. She refuses to watch the Wheel of Time. She has abandoned the Wheel of Time, but that's all right though. So these two burly men, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4",
I think she's like
is
around 5'6"
chasing these
something.
dudes through the town from this little girl. Even though she does have the heron mark blade. We'll talk about
She
that
was
later.
pretty ill with that though. She was like
man, dark friends always keep their fighting skills numbered just in case of such an emergency. So she corners the cats. She corners them. You know what I mean?
She explains to them that the Dark One wants to help them. The Aes Sedai wants to kill them, not the Dark One. The Dark One wants to help them, wants them to work with them.
And she begins to run her mouth, which here again upsets Jada Ball. Upsets me again for the running of the mouth of the dark friend. Yeah, because the dragon, he could turn to the dark one and this and that, because the dark one
and that
has turned.
she'll be the one to bring them, the dragon to
I'm gonna be named Nobliss, but she didn't say that, but we know that's what she wanted. So she says,
then as she run her mouth.
Hold, no, I have to go into this. I have to complain real quick before you go to the good part. I gotta complain. So she says that the dragon, at one turning of the wheel, turned to the dark one. And his name was Ishmael. For those that have read the book, is Ishmael ever been the dragon reborn at any turning of the wheel? Okay, now let's go to the good part.
As she running her mouth,
the Two Rivers brothers are saved.
By dude, neck straight, knife straight through the neck, just bow. He said, "What are y'all still waiting for? They're on their way.
That's a woman, man.
Go.
You just killed a woman, man."
He's like, "The dark ones are coming. We gotta go.
Dog friend.
We gotta go. They on their way. We gotta go."
So they leave with Tom Merlin. So now the Two Rivers boys meet the traveling gleeman, and they're off to the races with Tom Merlin. And I'll let her take this part before we go to the ending of the second episode. I'll let her take this part because I found out yesterday that Perrin Abaya is my daughter's favorite Wheel of Time character. The Wolf Brother.
And Nynaeve. And I didn't even know that.
The Wolf Brother is her favorite character.
I love wolves though, but I think okay. So while
how you felt about you don't have to go through everything.
Okay, well it was while they were trying to find shelter, they had stopped and they made a fire or whatever, and you heard the wolves.
They who?
Perrin and Egwene.
Okay.
Egwene?
Egwene.
Okay, I would have said
I'm from New York. Just call her Egwene.
Okay.
Egwene. Look, she got egg on her face. Sometimes she does.
And
sometimes. But anyway.
I'm not sure if this was before or after, but there was a scene where he was running by himself and he had got stopped by a wolf.
That was in episode 2.
He got surrounded by wolves.
Right after the that was before the drink. He had the scar on his face,
and a wolf had came up to him and licked his wound.
Hopper.
And I thought that was so cool. For me, I'm a wolf lover, so that was automatically favoritism. Okay. Unfortunately,
we skipped that part, but that was super dope. I just didn't like it that you tried to make him a werewolf instead of a wolf brother, like the scar on his leg. Yeah, transformation.
Cause he keep like, and every time we see him with the wound, it keeps like
right. But now after the wolf licked it, it didn't bother him no more. He's not a werewolf. Yes. I'm gonna say it now. Spoiler. He's a wolf brother. Okay, go on with the scene with.
So while they trying to do a fire, whatever, we hear the wolves howl, and then we go into the next day with them running again, and they get a little surrounded by the wolves, and then the wolves kind of
arrow them.
And then the wolves kind of like go on with their business.
Yeah, because they push them in the direction that they wanted to.
In comes the Tinkers, right?
Yeah, the Tuathan, the traveling folk.
And they ask, what was the quote? It was,
"Do you know the song?"
And they asked them to repeat it, and they repeated, and Perrin was just like, "No, we do not know the song." And they were like, "Okay, you can come with us." So while they're there, they kind of do a little introduction. And I will say the Tinkers, I hope this is not triggering, words, I know some certain things. They gave a little of gypsy vibes.
And I told her that was perfect for what the Tinkerers are, the two athletes.
Because the aesthetic of them, the way they were dressed, even the way the one that was describing, they're like, "Oh, we're the thieves there, we scam." I'm like, gypsies. I was like, sort of like gypsies.
Major character alert.
Yes.
The dude, he had like the
little dread-ish.
The fade with the little dreads on the top. Yeah. That's Abram. Major, was that episode 3?
Yes.
Is the first appearance of Abram.
Okay.
I'll just leave it like that.
Okay.
Very important character to the turning of the wheel.
Okay.
So,
they tell them, the woman that had told them, like, "Do you know the song?" She was like, "You guys can stay."
Rena.
Even
Rena. Rena?
I believe.
That's the Oh man, I forgot the head of the
Of the
two athletes. But no, Rand is the head of the Tinkerers, and the woman is his wife. I forgot.
Okay.
Her name, but
so she had told them, she was like, even though people don't welcome us, we will welcome you here. You can stay. So they dug in, and that was the last time we saw them. Was them eating, having a good meal, and they went and ate.
They dug in rice and peas.
Well, listen, they was that food.
Rice and peas, son.
That food looked very good.
I said, yo, two athletes got more food than they. Two Rivers folk was starving. So we get to the end of the episode.
Well, no, we didn't talk about Moraine.
No, that's the end.
Okay. Okay, I thought you meant the end. Okay. Well, this will be the end.
Right, because it ends with...
Yeah.
Yes. My neck. My dude. Sorry, y'all. My dude, okay. But,
so it goes
my dude.
So after Naive's flashback of her getting dragged off, we see her tied to a tree. And her mouth gagged as well. Unfortunately, that was so unnecessary.
You don't know Nynaeve yet.
She wanted to.
She let you have it.
Oh, never mind. Oh, she's my favorite for a reason. So Lon is like, Lon goes and gives her some water, whatever. Land. After he gives Moraine water, he goes and gives Nynaeve water, and she's like, oh, she's not gonna make it, da 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 da. And he's like, well, can you do something? Can you heal her? Can you give her some medicine? Oh boy. So they go into the forest. So she let him go, and she goes in,
shows her
foraging. Well, she forages first, and she's like, you don't have to follow me. I'm not gonna run.
And now we get a little bit of that tension again.
Yeah, which I love.
And he's like, yo, how'd you track us?
Yeah, she was like, I ain't gotta tell you all my secrets.
She knew all that.
She's like, I ain't gotta tell you all my secrets. Come on now. So
the lady in the blue ain't all that.
Which I love their bantering. I know it was only like 10 minutes of bantering, but I love it. So they go back. She makes the medicine. I'll call it a medicine.
She did a little apothecary thing,
and which was really cool. We got to see a little bit of that, and she kind of put it in the wound, which was a little gross. That was nasty.
It's gonna hurt. I don't know about the water.
Yeah, she did say that.
You might feel this,
and it did. Yeah, because I know he was like, because I know he made a face when she said this. So I was like, are they not? Is that not?
They can. Water? The Ashadai and water share almost like a mental.
Is it like a soulmate bond, sort of like?
In the spirit. Yeah.
Okay.
Like they have like a spirit bond, so they can they know if she's far away, he knows what direction she's in.
Okay.
If she's hurt or she's busted up, he can sense her hurt and all of that other type of stuff.
Okay,
the bond also gives him extra endurance.
Okay,
and he's able to sense
to me that sounds a little bit like how the Omegaverse kind of works.
Oh, okay.
So that's why when I kind of saw that and you describing it, I was like, oh, so it's like the Omegaverse kind of.
Okay. So then Lan bounces real quick. He was just like, you stay here with her.
And she was like, how you know I'm not going to run? And he kind of just looked at her
like,
you ain't going.
Girl, I know you feeling me. You might not like her, but I know you feeling a man, Dragora. I'll be right back. So he bounces, and we get this, we just see from his vantage point.
Yeah.
But obviously he's found what they need. So Moraine regains consciousness
for a little bit. She said it would only be for a few hours.
And Lan comes back. We found what we need. And she's like, all right, she's riding again, thanks to the poultice.
Yes.
That Nynaeve made for her. And they ride into the
opening. It's like an opening. It's not like a building, but it's like it's an opening way. You see an Aes Sedai
of the green. Up top, and Lilandrin comes out.
Oh Lord!
And she was like, "Moraine, you are just in time. You've missed it." And she was like, "What? We have captured a man who has said he is the Dragon Reborn."
We see a cage come up, pans to a cage,
and it is Logain Albar. So the end of episode 3 is the first appearance of Logain. He still needs a shave, but all in all. I don't really have an individual, an individual
Opinions.
rating for each episode because I watched them all the way through. And I was trying to watch it a second time, but didn't get a chance. But definitely, to tell you the truth, from the Purest and The Eye of the World, how they kind of condensed like 20 chapters
in the 3 episodes.
The Eye of the World, the 3 episodes. I did like the aesthetics, the clothing, the music,
the cinematography,
the environment.
I like the casting.
Love the magic.
I did like the casting,
even though she was like this, like
it gave water. A mixture of like airbending,
like the Avatar.
Like it gave like a mixture.
Which but she killed it. Actually, her power was way better than the Avatar. If y'all watch the Avatar movies, she killed it.
The casting was pretty good.
But some of the extra scenes, Perrin's wife gets a negative. Lan and Moraine in the tub gets a negative. Everything with Nynaeve gets a 2 thumbs up.
4 thumbs up.
Perrin does not have a weapon right now. He does not have a weapon. Matt, besides the dagger, he still doesn't have his bow and arrow. He's supposed to have a bow and arrow.
Yeah, he didn't grab it when he was
right, but he never had he didn't leave with a bow and arrow. That's supposed to be his weapon. For now.
He did.
So when did he lose it?
When he was running away from the tavern chick. He didn't have it. He just left. He knocked down the door and he left. He had it with him.
Not Rand, Matt.
Oh no, Matt didn't. No, Matt don't have it.
Because Rand has the sword from his father and he has the bow and arrow.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got confused. You said the bow and arrow, so I got confused.
But I'm saying Matt is supposed to have a bow and arrow.
Okay.
Negative for that.
Oh yeah, he don't got a jack except that knife.
Abel Coffin being a womanizer and Matt's mother being a drunk. Negative.
Yeah, that was
negative.
That was so uncalled for and unnecessary. And, for what reason?
And everything else was pretty good. I really couldn't disagree with it. Tom Maryland not being in Emansfield in the beginning, I can forgive it. He needed to be by himself to be introduced because he's a cool cat. Which
was perfect. It was a good introduction.
I ain't finished, man.
Sorry.
She gonna like Tom Maryland too. She'll find out what's really good with the white fox, and I'll just leave it as that.
You know what?
But Tom Maryland is dope. All of that was dope. Them getting chased by a little heavyset girl, by the little heavyset girl with the sword, and her talking about Ishmael being. Maybe I need to watch that again. But that's what I got from it, saying that he was the Dragon Reborn turned to the dog. Negative. Shadar Logoth gets a half and half. That gets a 50-50. And what else? And the whole relationship thing with Matt, with Rand and Egwene, that gets a 50-50 too. Because they didn't have no playtime in the book. I guess that that breakup sex thing was like.
And I will say this, I understand they add the extra relationship thing for drama, romance, all of that. But sometimes, like it doesn't, there's enough, you have enough time to incorporate that. We're just getting to know the characters. Right. You don't have to go straight into the romance. You can build it up, like how you see Lon and Nynaeve. There's a little bit of tension there. You can make it work. There's no need to just be like, oh, where they're together and then they're not together and then they're together and then not. It's like a bouncing of back and forth, and it's unnecessary.
So with that, I'm gonna say this about the beginning when the Red Ajah is chasing down the fellow who can channel, and obviously he's mad because he believes he has a companion. So the madness has already hasn't. But the prologue for The Wheel of Time, Book 1, The Eye of the World, starts with our introduction of Louis Theron Telemon, the original dragon. And nothing is said except for Moraine's little introduction, which I thought the Dragon Mound prologue would have been a powerful opening for the show, and it really would have like that would have, But the first 3 episodes of Wheel of Time, I give I'll give it a 7. I'll gracefully give it a 7. And that's a 7 out of 10 from the Purest. What do you give?
For a new watcher, I'll give it like a 7.5. Because I didn't like how fast paced it was. And we didn't really get a whole introduction of the characters. Like I had to like really pay attention to know who was who. Like the only person that really got their introduction was Tom.
Oh, and Perrin's wife? Negative. Not if I didn't say it already.
That was real. I did not
double negative.
I did not. No, I think
she
it was.
Didn't even know
I really feel like it was It was that trope that I'ma kill I loved one for trauma so we can build up this character. It's like you can do that without having to kill a character that never even existed. Because he told me that he
Y'all see the neck? Y'all see the neck with that arm? She ain't like that.
Because my dad told me, he was like, yeah, he didn't have a wife. And I'm like, so what was the reason? Why?
What was the reason?
I was just so enraged. I was like, and he was so distraught too.
So for all of you that have watched this long review so far, and I know, don't tell me that it ain't been longer because some cats did a review after. It was 4 hours. What? Yeah, man. I think they went live. They did a review. It was 4.5 hours, man.
Oh my gosh.
And we can talk about the Wheel of Time.
Oh yeah.
Hours, but we ain't gonna.
Well, maybe the next 3 episodes. We'll see the next 3 episodes drop.
Well, each week now it's only 1 week per episode until Christmas.
Okay. Oh.
So are you coming back next week?
Of course.
So Janae will be back next week for episode 4 of the Wheel of Time on reviews from the Purest. Please like, share, and subscribe. We look forward to your comments down below. If you give a thumbs up, please don't give a thumbs down. But either way, whether like this, whether it's the teardrop of Tarvalon or the dragon's fang, we know together they make the ancient symbol of the Aes Sedai. So whether you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it's going to equal out in the end. It's going to. Because it's just another turning of the wheel. Or maybe it's not. Maybe the wheel will be broken. And the Dark One will shut down this review and you'll never see us again. But as always, people, as always, something popped up. I hope it's still recording. But as always, be great and do great. Peace.
Bye.